Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, more Elon news. Yesterday, of course, Tesla had its earnings call, but today we're finding out that Elon plans on firing 75% of Twitter employees. Think about that. Also, there's a huge Bitcoin options expiration that's happening tomorrow. So let's talk about these things and more. All right, let's get started. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com, and make sure you follow my other channels as well. I posted another house video. I am George tonight, so make sure you watch it after this stream. All right, guys, welcome. You know what? Let's just get to it. Let's get right to it. We know that Tesla released their earnings, and it was disappointing, I would say. Well, I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. In fact, it wasn't bad at all because their growth is still good, but it came a little bit lower than expectations, right? But one of the things that Elon talked about during his earnings call was the acquisition of Twitter. He plans on still moving forward with that, and he does think that it's going to pay off eventually. But now it's coming out that he plans on laying off nearly 75%. That's a huge chunk. So he plans on, after acquiring Twitter, to drop the 5,500 staffers down to about 2,000. So that is a massive layoff. Now, he goes on and admits that he believes he probably overpaid, because he offered $54.20 per share, right? And then he tried to back out because he thought that Twitter was not giving him accurate information about bots and so forth, right? But then Twitter brought a lawsuit to him, and I don't know what. He changed his mind. Now he wants to buy him back. So now the courts are giving him until the 28th to come up with enough financing so that they can move forward with it, right? But 75% cut. You got to think that he's doing it because he's trying to make Twitter profitable, and we'll see. We'll see if it works. But I thought this is pretty big news from Elon. And yesterday I talked about how Elon and Tesla, what they did with Bitcoin, nothing really. They still kept the remaining amount, 25% of what they had before, which was still over 200 million. And who knows? Who knows what Elon plans on doing with Bitcoin in the future, or even Doge. Maybe after buying Twitter and laying off the 3,000 something plus workers, maybe he then decides to focus on Dogecoin. Who knows? But I did look at some of the comments, and I think a lot of you guys in live chat also made comments similar about, hey, 75% isn't that much when you consider almost 100% are bots. Yeah, that's a good point, because there are so much bots out there on Twitter right now. Now, as for another social media company, one that I have never, ever used, and I don't know if any of you guys still use or ever used, Snap, which is the parent company of Snapchat, plunged 27% aftermarket because of revenue miss. Like, social media companies right now are just not doing good. Not doing good at all. Facebook is struggling. Snapchat is struggling. Twitter is struggling. Everyone is struggling right now, right? So it's just not good overall. Down 27%. Wow. All right, so outside of this big Elon Twitter news, what else is going on? Well, the other big thing that's happening tomorrow is this huge Bitcoin options expiration, $510 million worth. And the bulls or bears, again, are fighting. Right now, if you notice, Bitcoin is right around 19,000 because that's an important mark for tomorrow. So this breaks it down. Basically, there's a ton of calls, between 18 and 19,000, right? And then you got some between 19 and 20,000. Then a little bit more between 20 and 21,000, and and a lot actually between 21 and 22. So there's actually there's a lot more call options between 21 and 22, right? And the bears are trying to make sure that doesn't hit. Because if we do break to 21, 22, I mean, obviously the bulls win, right? And it would break us above this funk that we're in, around 19,000 right now. So we'll see. There's not that much time left. It's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think options expiration is sometime tomorrow, very early. I remember before when I checked, it was like very early, 4 or 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. So there's not much time, but we have seen some tremendous moves before. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. And also, something that relates is $111 million of stable coins flew into exchanges, okay, over the last few days. So why did this happen? Why do people deposit stable coins into the exchanges? Because they're about to buy, right? So who just deposited $111 million worth of stable coins? Not I. Maybe a little bit from me, but who knows? Maybe it's a combination of people, or maybe it's whales getting ready to drive things up. Who knows? But there are a lot of people just waiting for the right opportunity, right? Waiting to FOMO in. I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it, but there are definitely a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. People are waiting for some kind of confirmation for a bottom, right? And then money will really start flowing in. I've been showing you guys a lot of those kind of confirmations, on-chain metrics, TA, a lot of stuff. Here's another one. This is an interesting one from Sentiment. Another kind of one of those indicators and models. Traders now shorting more than longing on a majority of altcoins. Prices more likely to rise in these conditions. Strangely enough, outside of Bitcoin, you do have a tremendous amount of short pressure on altcoins. So today you may have noticed, even though Bitcoin didn't move, but altcoins did, right? So when the bears, we hear this about the bulls, but when the bears start getting greedy, you know the saying, right? Bulls and bears, make money, hogs get slaughtered. I think that's the phrase. Yeah, we haven't really seen anyone dare to short, really, Bitcoin, because just who would try to short Bitcoin at 19,000, right? But it does seem like there's more traders that's trying to short against altcoins, thinking that maybe there will be more weakness coming up, right? But you know what? Usually when you get a lot of shorts, a lot of leverage, guess what happens? We get a squeeze, and a short squeeze could be on the way, and that relates to everything else that I just talked about. Maybe we're going to get a huge uprise, especially if that 111 million stable coins is used to buy and go long. Who knows? But another one of those interesting things that's happening right now. But of course, outside of those things, the holders continue to grow. Addresses with a balance of 0.1 Bitcoin continues to rise. Again, formed a new high. Over 3.8 million addresses holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin. Okay? 0.1 Bitcoin, that's still a lot. I know some of you guys have way more than one, right? Way more than 0.1. But if you think about it, for average family out there that may be conservative these days, been saving and not spending as more. Even 0.1 Bitcoin, that's $1,900. That's $2,000. Not everyone could just plop out $2,000 to buy Bitcoin, right? So even 0.1 Bitcoin is pretty significant if you think about it. But of course, if you can get to 1 Bitcoin, that's tremendous. But the number of people that are turning to Bitcoin continues to grow. In the mornings I cover enough about macro stuff, right? What's going on in the UK? Prime Minister resigns after like 6 weeks. And everything else that's going on in Japan, in Europe, in the US, right? People are just fed up, wants to unplug and get into something better, So more and more people are turning to Bitcoin. This is why you could see there's actually, even with Bitcoin's price falling down to the 17, 18, 19 mark, the number of addresses actually increased even more, right? So there are definitely a lot of smart people out there turning to Bitcoin. And of course, there's a lot of very big, smart whales that's been buying behind the scenes by the billions as well. So these guys know what's going on. All right. What else is going on in the world? This is big. This is big for the people's currency, XRP. Finally, the SEC hands over their internal emails, drafts of the 2018 speech, which Ripple has been asking for, and they won numerous judges have asked SEC to hand these over, and SEC kept dragging their feet, right? Basically, this is the documents that show that the SEC, how they determined Ethereum was a commodity, not a security. Okay, so it's very vital. It's very vital. This is the proof that Ripple needs to say, well, SEC is obviously overstepping. We're the same as Ethereum, whatever the Ripple's argument is, right? But there's something there. There's something of substance, right? Because outside of Bitcoin, the only other crypto that was ever declared a commodity by the SEC is Ethereum. And Gary's trying to change that. Gary wants to backtrack that, but they didn't come out and officially declare Ethereum a security. They don't want to do that. They're hinting it. Gary is hinting it, but he didn't come out and say directly, we're declaring Ethereum a security. So if they don't, and it's still a commodity, according to SEC, and whatever reasoning they had before, well, now they hand it over to Ripple. And this is why the SEC did not want to give over the emails and testimony and all this stuff to Ripple, because this is really damning stuff. So this could be absolutely huge for Ripple and for this whole case. It could be absolutely huge for an entire crypto space, right? So we'll see. I'm actually quite surprised XRP didn't pump after this. I'm actually really surprised it didn't, because this is absolutely huge. But thought I mentioned that. What else is going on? APTOS. APTOS, you guys heard of this new hyped up L1 from Facebook devs? Okay. We even have DEXs like PancakeSwap that's been primarily on Binance Smart Chain, the biggest DEX on Binance Smart Chain. Now they want to deploy on APTOS. So there's many DEXs that want to jump aboard. But here's the interesting thing. I did not know this. Looking through it, who is the biggest investor of APTOS? I'll give you a second to guess, or you could just read the screen. FTX. So interesting. So this is another pet project by Sam Bankman-Fried. We know that Solana basically was saved, and that's kind of like the FTX chain, because Sam Bankman-Fried put so much money and effort into Solana. But now it looks like he wants to diversify and get into APTOS too. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But right now we know that SBF wants to filter assets because there's lack of clarity from the SEC, right? So they're going to come out with their own way to filter out projects that they think are securities or non-securities until some kind of registration is in place. Right, so SBF is taking it upon himself to do so. But there is some controversy. I just picked this up like minutes before the stream. I didn't even know about it because I'm not on Twitter a lot. But supposedly, SBF tweeted this. They came out this whole policy thing, right? And then Bitboy Ben got into it. And I don't know the full story, but supposedly I think Ben has his own, crypto regulation bill, it seems like, right? And he's accusing SBF or FTX kind of stealing a lot of it, something like that. Again, I don't know the whole story, right? And then this guy, Ryan Sean Adams, you know, throw some shades at Bitboy, and then Bitboy just like, man, he went off today. He went off on this. So I'm going to play this. But basically, Bitboy is really angry at this Ryan guy and really angry at SBF and Coinbase and just a lot of things. All right, so just FYI, a lot of F-bombs in here. Okay, so I'm just going to play it, but shows you the passion from Bitboy. Okay, so I'm just going to play it, but shows you the passion from Bitboy. Okay, so I'm just going. All right, I think I got it.
I don't know who the F you are because you're not important. But here he says, please, dear Lord, and any lawmakers or adults reading this tweet, just know Bitboy doesn't represent us either. Talk to Jay Stravinsky. Talk to Miller CWL. Talk to Coin Center. You know what? We are tired of people that look like this guy trying to run stuff. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. It's me. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes trying to save crypto while these devils, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it. This is not about money for me. I hope you guys understand this. I am here fighting for you. This guy with these freaking glasses on, this douchebag, is out here trying to tell you that only the suits know what to do. Only the suits. Only the people who have all the money. They're the ones who can determine what happens. No, our bill is for the people. And you're going to find this out. We've got the funding for it, and it's coming out.
Yeah, so again, it seems like Bitboy has his own bill or own proposal or something like that. So this whole thing, I don't know, like FTX somehow stole it, SBF stole it. I don't know, but man, he went off. Bitboy is not a fan of SBF. That's for sure. And I don't know who the other guy is. And Dylan LeClaire gets into it with Bitboy. There's just all this fighting. This is why I stay off of Twitter, all right? Drama, I don't care for. I don't need drama in my life, but there's just so much drama on Twitter. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But obviously, SBF catching a lot of heat right now due to their decision to filter, their proposal. I don't know what else is going on here, but I guess we'll see. All right, that is pretty much it. Looking at tomorrow's market, it's about even. Today we had a negative day, mostly for Nasdaq. Dow was a little bit better, but S&P struggled today. So Bitcoin didn't really move. I think tomorrow's futures expiration or options expiration, I should say, is going to play a big part. Maybe suppressing Bitcoin a little bit, right? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, let's do some Q&A. ALPY. What are DEXs? Decentralized exchanges. That's what DEXs are. All right, let's scroll up here. Pigs get slaughtered. Yeah, that's how the quote goes. Someone says, holding cash right now is like holding Bitcoin at 69,000. Well, interesting analogy there. I think holding on some cash is definitely good, but holding on all cash, I think, that can make you lose on some tremendous gains, some tremendous upside. Yeah, I've known for a while, people have told me that Ben does not like SBF. And he has good reason. I brought this up too. SBF is trying to be, BlackRock, right? Or he's trying to make FTX like BlackRock. Try to buy out. Of course, he did buy out Voyager already. Trying to buy out Celsius. Trying to buy out BlockFi. Trying to buy out Robinhood. He bought out other exchanges like Liquid from Japan, and there's one other one, right? He's all over. He wants to buy every single asset. And I'm like, man, first of all, that's not good for the entire industry. And second, where does he get all his money from? Right? We don't even see Binance do this. Binance is kind of just staying in their own lane right now. But yeah, SBF and FTX, they're trying to control everything right now. So it's a little scary there. Let's see. I feel bad for that shirt, Mike. I think these mics could take it. I just need XRP to get to $33. Yeah, you might have to wait a while for that to happen. That would put what? That would put XRP to like $2 trillion in market cap. You may have to wait a long time for that to happen. Omar, bro, I love you. Never change. Love your streams. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I really do. This channel is operating like it is because of guys like you and everyone else in here supporting. So appreciate it. Bitboy was great today. George is better. Thank you. Appreciate your support, man. I've been Barrack. I've been DCing daily for the last 6 months. But this SBF regulation bill and macro news are getting scary. Starting to second guess myself too much. I could see that. I don't know about this FBF regulation bill, whether there's any weight to it. This is just like self-imposed. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. But as for the macro conditions, I mean, it is scary. I cover this every day. You know, there's some very bad macro stuff going on, right? But then again, every down cycle that we have, it's scary. Every single one. I mean, no one even talks about banning Bitcoin anymore, but trust me, during the last few cycles, it was a lot scarier. Like, oh, is the government going to ban Bitcoin? Is Congress going to introduce a bill that's going to kill wallets or kill exchanges or kill DEXs, right? Like, we have come very far. We're to the point where no one's talking about banning. It's more like regulating now. So that shows you how far we've come. Because even in 2017, throughout 2018, 19, 20, and then, of course, before, it was all about Bitcoin's a giant Ponzi. The government's going to crack down. People are just going to get wrecked because everything's going to be banned. That's not even happening, right? So, I mean, every cycle, there's scary stuff. But you know what? Every cycle, we get through it, and we get stronger. Any update on Elon using Dogecoin on Twitter? No. That's what I said at the beginning. So there's a massive firing that will be happening after he takes over, and who knows? I mean, it leaked out before that he wanted to integrate, like, if you want to authenticate yourself, you could do so using Doge. He wanted to incorporate Doge maybe as a currency because he wants to turn Twitter into a super app. There's a lot of rumors about what he may do with Doge with Twitter, and we'll see if any of those rumors are true. I don't know. When is the house scheduled to be done officially? There's no official day. I was just told between 8 to 14 months, so it's a big gap. But things are moving very quickly, so I'm hoping it's closer to 8 than 14. Would you buy 2 Bitcoins right now or buy 40 ETH? To be honest, if I was starting over, I'd do 50-50. I wouldn't go all on Bitcoin or all on ETH. I would do 50-50. So that's kind of like my 50-25-25 rule, but splitting a 50-50. You got to have the stability of Bitcoin. Okay, you don't want to lose that, but you want to add some alts for growth, and ETH provides plenty of growth. Keep in mind, in downturns, ETH also go down more, right? But when there's upturns, ETH gains more. That's if you're just sticking with two. Robert Knight, appreciate it. What do you think about Ravencoin? Not a fan. Ravencoin helps people to create security tokens. It was stated on their website they help people create security tokens, right? And that is not what anyone needs right now, especially with Gary trying to go after everyone. So, yeah. New Orleans, a dark horse NBA. If Zion could stay healthy, man, he was manhandling Ben Simmons yesterday. So, if he could stay healthy, and then they still have Ingram, and they have McCollum, and then Valanciunas. I mean, they have a solid team. They have a really solid team. I'm in Vegas. We're all watching this. Who's all? I know when I visited last year, man, I was getting recognized left or right. Even people on the floor and stuff. It was really cool. Very humbling experience. So, I like Vegas. Rich, hey G, I was watching a crypto channel from Feb 2019. It's amazing how far we have come. BTC was at 3,800. Yes, exactly. You guys hear me talk about, the good old days, right? But the good old days were not like 50 years ago, right? I'm not trying to be like old grandpa saying, hey, back in my day. But literally just 2 years ago in 2020, Bitcoin fell below 4,000. And you go back to 2018, 2019, which is only 3 years ago, Bitcoin fell below to like 3,100. So if you recognize that and realize that, yeah, 19,000 sucks compared to 69,000. But 19,000 is way better than 3,000. When we were hovering at 3,000 and I was still streaming, it was very depressing. No one believed that Bitcoin could ever get back up to its previous high or go beyond. And we stayed there for months upon months before Bitcoin finally rallied back up to 10,000. But even then, it stood there for a long, 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 long time, right? So, yes, sometimes it's very depressing. Sometimes it seems like nothing will ever get accomplished, that Bitcoin can't ever break out of its funk. It's too controlled and, whale manipulation, all this stuff. No, Bitcoin always finds a way, and it is stronger than ever. So that is fact. Way too fast for you. Yeah, I just got done talking about it. I saw I kind of covered it. You have to rewind. I saw the clip and, talked about it. He's not a fan of SBF. I got to say, I'm not a fan of SBF too. I just don't trust him at this point. I'm not as angry over SBF as Ben is, but you know what? Just seeing all the moves he's making and everything, getting political now, trying to run things. I mean, it totally seems like it's like BlackRock 2.0, right? And BlackRock is a huge investor in FTX too. So it almost kind of makes sense. How fast can we get back to 100K when it starts to pump? I mean, pretty fast. I mean, we're talking about within 6 months it could happen. But we have to be in a, obvious bull run, right? Like after, let's say, the next halving event in 2024, the 6 months afterwards could be tremendous. But leading up to that point, maybe we struggle a little bit. I think we'll come back up, obviously, but not to all-time highs yet. But, yeah, just look at all the previous times Bitcoin went up and rallied. We're talking about some tremendous gains within a very short amount of time, right? Like tremendous gains from bottoms here here. I mean, everywhere. So that's why you want to be in it. That's why you want to DCA, because you don't want to miss out on those uptrends. Because if you do, then it's like your whole time has been wasted, right? To order Ferrari SUV, the closest day is 2024. You know what? I actually have some news about that. Ferrari is now hand selecting who can order that SUV. So I called my dealership and I'm like, hey, can I place an order? He's like, sure. And that was the first day. And then I didn't call him back. And then the second day, I'm like, yeah, hey, I want to place an order. He's like, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't take your money. I'm like, why? He's like, because Ferrari really wants to limit people that are reselling, because Ferraris blew up and a lot of people just bought just to make money to flip. So Ferrari's like, in order to prevent that, they're kind of hand selecting customers, like loyal customers, and then giving the rights to order one. So unfortunately, Ferrari is going down the path where they're kind of like hand selecting everyone now, right? So luckily I got my last order in, and I should be getting that car any day now. Any day. Still been waiting. I've been waiting for like a year. Interactive. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Where do I go buy SBF? Are you trolling or what? SBF is Sam Bankman-Fried. So you're trying to buy Sam Bankman-Fried? No, I mean, I didn't get it. That what is it called? Puro Sangue or something? I didn't order one. I don't SUVs. I mean, especially with I don't think it's gonna do well. It may be the last natural aspirated V12 that Ferrari produces, but I don't know. I don't think it'll do well because it's an SUV, right? Even though it kind of doesn't look like it, but it kind of does. Just look at Ferrari had the FF and whatever designation they had afterwards, some weird abbreviation, I don't even know. Both of those flopped. And they were just like kind of four-door hatchback or two-door, four-seater, two-door hatchbacks. And they both failed. So I'm not sure this Pura Sangue is going to do that well in the future. Anything new with Monero? No. No. Not that I know of. I don't really care about state privacy coins. I don't really follow them, to be honest. Thoughts on a new Cadillac Escalade Near Apocalypse Edition. I didn't even see that. I don't know. I have not driven a new Escalade. I've been meaning to. It looks cool. But I have not driven a new Escalade. I have driven the new GMC Denali, the Yukon Denali, and it's pretty good. But Escalade should be even better. Let's see. Try to buy Shiba on Coinbase. Wasn't allowed. Is Shiba not on Coinbase? It is. Why are you not allowed? Interesting. You know, tomorrow will be an interesting day. Tomorrow will be an interesting day. We'll see. Right now, futures doesn't really indicate any movement, but we had that big options expiration tomorrow. Could be good, could be bad. But overall, when you hear about this, like stable coins being deposited into exchanges, right? These are positive signs. I guess we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Kenneth says SBF gets his money by manipulating the market with bot buying and trading and leveraged tokens. The more exchanges you could do that with, you know, I've always speculated that it makes sense. Think about it. How did SBF make his money? Right, through his special algorithm that the arbitrage Bitcoin using different currencies. So he definitely has the technology. He definitely has a very sophisticated bot that made him billions, okay? So think about that. So can he trade and counter trade right now? Of course he can. He can be running that bot 24/7. And some of these big up and downs could be because of his bots buying and selling by the billions once again, right? That could be how he's getting all this money. You know, like I've always wondered how he got so much. I realize he did already have so much, but he spent a lot of it, and now he just seems like he has endless money. Where's that money coming from? I have no idea. No idea. The FF and GT4 Lusso, yes, that's it. Are great cars. Ugly as F. I don't know. Actually, the FF actually looks pretty good to me. Same engine as the Enzo F12, 812, right? See, right now, the thing is, if you look at what's going on with Ferraris, the ones that are going up the most, number one, manuals, a 360, even a 360. I had a 360 that I bought for only like 50. At the time, it was like $55,000. It wasn't a manual, just like the F1 transmission, but I ended up selling that car for like $75,000. So I made a good profit. That car now is like $80,000, $90,000, so it went up even more. But the manual version of that is now going for $200,000. I just saw that. So people really want like the special limited, you know, options or limited editions, right? So you could see a 360 go for like 90 or 100, but the manual is going for 200. The 458s have gone up so much because it's the last natural aspirated V8 before they went to turbos. So it sounds amazing, sounds great. And they have gone up. 458s have gone up, you know, as double basically almost within the last couple of years. So that's why, like, if you want to profit from Ferraris, it's really hard to lose money with Ferraris, to be honest. But if you really want to profit, you want to get those like special limited ones. That's why the new SUV could be a good buy, because it's still natural aspirated V12. Everything else is going hybrid. So it could be worth something because it's the last, again, V12 that you could buy in a Ferrari. But again, it's an SUV, so I don't know if people will like it. Do I like Land Rovers? I never driven one, surprisingly. I think the new ones look great, but from what I hear, everyone says if you get a Land Rover, it's going to spend more time in the garage than on the road, because half the time it's being fixed for something. I don't know if that's changed with the newest model, but even the one up to 2021, 2022, 2021, still hearing about the same thing. So never looked into Land Rovers. GR Corolla or Civic Type R? Type R. Type R. All right, guys. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Elon announced he's going to lay off 75% of Twitter. Could be all bots, or replacing those employees with more bots. Who knows? But that's the big story. But Tesla stock has been hammered recently. Tomorrow we got a big Bitcoin expirations, and there's a whole bunch of stuff happening with SBF and his self-imposed regulations. Man, there's a lot of things going on. All right, so tune in tomorrow. We'll discuss more, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good night, guys. Take care. Go watch my other video on I Am George, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.